Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough of its own. Each day has enough trouble of its own, I'm sorry. The world is ending. Not literally, of course, but figuratively. Everyone has felt like their life is over. And right now, it's palpable. For me, for kids everywhere my age, everything is heightened. Every obstacle seems insurmountable. Every problem that arises, we believe, is monumental. And every emotion is paralyzing, staggering, especially for people like me, obsessed with making some great big change in this great big world. It's hard to think any of us are bound for greatness. We are conditioned to believe the first 20 years of our lives are the greatest we will ever have. If you don't experience every dance, every party, you haven't truly lived. And honestly, I don't buy it. I don't buy it when somewhere between schoolwork and extracurriculars and any attempt at a social life, we are expected to grow up. We are expected to know exactly what we want to do, where our strengths lie, and whether or not we're special. How can we expect it to take anything in, to live, when our minds are constantly stuck in either the past or the future? How are we supposed to balance living and reliving? At each and every time we look over memories, from when we were younger, we either glorify them or paint them in a shade of blood red, forever shunned. And if we only ever look to the past, we will drive ourselves to insanity. And if we only ever look to the future, we will never realize our potential. Ever since I was little, I haven't had an obsession with being famous. Of course, it started off with wanting to be a pop singer, of writing music and performing sold-out concerts. But as I have gotten older, that obsession has morphed into something greater. It's developed into a desire to fight injustice, to help people with the privileges I was given. I believe every single person has both a gift and a curse, and that is feeling. The feeling of wanting to be the best is rampant in my class. The determination to be valedictorian fuels many, and I have seen it work to motivate so many of my classmates. But I have also seen the way it tears them down. If they aren't naturally gifted at something, they give up at the start. If they make less than a 95 on an assignment, they think it is going to ruin everything that defines their intelligence. Their mindset is so narrow and focused that they don't notice that they're deteriorating their determination. Continuously believing that you are nothing unless you are brilliant only contributes to your failure. There are 3 things I've learned since starting junior high, after burning myself out and seeing my friends and peers do the same. 1, we will never be the best at everything. Nobody will ever be the best at everything, and you have absolutely no reason to. 2, you never stop living even when you feel you have no reason to. We were given the ability to heal and grow for a reason. Pick yourself up and start again. And 3, we do not need to be talented at something if we have the passion to work for it. We are brought up and forced into the mindset that we need to have one passion, one talent, that every single person has their niche, their great big gift to the universe. But not everyone has a special ability. Not every person is intelligent or strong or kind. Not every revolutionary is gifted. In 1899, the Newsboys of New York held a 2-week-long strike in retaliation of the way 2 large newspaper companies suddenly raised the price of their papers. There had been several other strikes in years past, as these children from as young as 7 to as old as 19 were used, taken advantage of, and given little in return. And although many were orphans and the leader of this strike was blind in one eye, they caused change. Joseph Pulitzer, owner of the Morning World, and William Randolph Hearst of the New York Evening Journal treated them as if they were invisible, transient. And when these boys spoke out against the dehumanization they faced, the way they were used and exploited, they were punished. Pulitzer and Hearst hired men to beat them and attempted to force them into silence once more. The strike ended after 2 weeks. Both newspaper circulations were down from 360,000 to 125,000. In the end, they did not lower the price of the newspapers. However, they started to buy back any the newsboys did not sell. This would become one of many incidents that would lead to child labor laws being instilled in the coming years. It would inspire courage in other people around them. Everyone has the ability to be extraordinary. Every one of us has that kinetic energy. Matter cannot be created or destroyed, only transferred. Doesn't the same thing happen to emotions? Once one revolution is over, isn't that passion, that will, and that tenacity, isn't it given to the next person or people who need that push? The only thing in anybody's way is uncertainty. The future is in our hands, and instead of creating it, we are stressing over the what-ifs and hypotheticals. We worry over whether we are amazing enough, important enough to be the change. We have panic attacks after overthinking the consequences of our actions. We are so stuck in memories and unwritten fates that we never realize that this moment determines everything. We determine our greatness. Our decisions decide our future, not our anxiety. It isn't the chaos you should be focusing on, it's the source. Focus on what's causing your hardships. Focus on what's causing you worry or stress. Chaos is a side effect of living. It is impossible to escape. Managing that chaos, filtering it, and only seeing the important stuff. That is how you live in the moment and decide your future. And our decisions don't necessarily need to be predetermined by our talents or lack thereof. Just because somebody is good at football doesn't mean they enjoy it. Just because somebody is good at math doesn't mean they want to become an accountant. Similarly to how your future shouldn't be chosen by your lack of ability, it shouldn't be chosen by the abilities you do have. Talent is not synonymous with passion. The big things are what define you. It isn't what grades you make or money you earn. It is the dreams you dream and the change you make. Nobody should be limited by the gifts you were or were not given, and you aren't. Maybe it takes more work, more effort, more everything, but you can do just as much as anybody else. We may not be given equal opportunities, but we are given the equal ability to feel and to push for better. We all deserve equal capacity to live joyfully and die satisfied, and you may have to be the one to make it. Be the action. Be heard. Don't stay complacent in your own demise. Make something out of nothing. Do the best with what you've been given. Not everyone may be destined for expertise in anything, but that was how God created you. Live for yourself. Live for the happiness you inspire and the satisfaction of living only for you. It isn't about talent or ability. It is about passion and persistence. No matter how unspectacular you may think you are, everyone has that potential. Every single person leaves a mark, no matter how small. Be the person to start change, even if it's something small. Nothing is small if it matters to you. Nothing is irrelevant if you make it relevant to yourself. And despite any and all hardships you may experience, every shortcoming you may have, you weren't born to give up before you've even started. Fight for your right to tell a story and fight for your right to a happy ending. Thank you.